Hello out there once again. 5 Round MMA is back for podcast number 5. Today's podcast is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net and True Athletes Training Systems. All right, it turned out that this week is kind of a slow week for MMA, news-wise anyways. I think the biggest headline of the week was that the UFC made a contract offer to former Bellator lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez.
Who's coming off of a loss.
But it was that last kind of fight of the year, wasn't it? Him and Michael Chandler?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty amazing fight. But, again, the 155 division is a deep pool. I don't know how he's going to really fit in there. What do you think?
You think like he'll just come in and kind of get drowned out, you think, almost? You got Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis, Benson Henderson.
There's so many people already in line.
The Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
You got Gilbert Melendez coming from Strikeforce, who's a champion.
What would be interesting is if he drops to 145 and add some talent to that division.
Because that's a very thin division right now.
Just look at Chad Mendes.
Yeah, who's he? Manny Gambinian?
Yeah, because they can't find anybody for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it got to a point where if you drop down to 155, you get an automatic title shot. Look at Frankie Edgar. Look at Kenny Florian.
Yeah.
So maybe if he does sign with the UFC, he should consider dropping down to 145.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even if he declares he's going to drop down to 145, I think that money's going to grow a little bit more.
Yeah, he might give him like one fight and then just go straight to Jose Aldo or whoever if Jose Aldo is successful against Frankie Edgar.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. Next, we have our preview to UFC 155.
All right, everybody. If you like what you hear out there and want to hear more of it, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. 5 Round MMA is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net. Get all your prep school sports information at SportsSceneTV.net. 5 Round MMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com. All right, we are back. Now we're going to do a preview and analysis of the main card for UFC 155.
I was told by my producer, Guillermo Cia, that we have to go over the main event, but I'm going to have to put a stop to this because we got the Duff Man.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Duffy.
I forgot. The return of the prodigal Todd Duffy to UFC, correct?
Yep. And the Minds got it wrong because they meant to put down the 29th because Todd Duffy
end the world with a punch or what?
Yep, because Duffy's going to finish with one punch.
And end the world. Wipe out extinction.
Yep.
Can't even finish the rest of the card because Todd Duffy's fist is going to put a hole in the earth.
There's going to be so much blood in that octagon when Todd Duffy landed on Phil Fry. They're going to have to cancel the whole event.
Compliments of the Duff Man, Todd Duffy.
Man.
All right.
So, whoa.
Okay.
We got him in the Facebook fights, which is pretty ridiculous. But I just want to mention out there that Todd Duffy is fighting. Thank you. So please log on to Facebook early and watch that fight.
Yeah, you guys going to be on Facebook anyways. Might as well check out the fights, man.
Now we can go to the main event. Let's start off with Chris Leben versus Derek Brunson.
Chris Leben, who's coming off of suspension, correct?
Yeah, a year-long suspension, or is it 6 months?
It might have been, I think, almost a year because it was his second offense, right?
Yes, so yeah, it was a full year.
And he's facing Derek Brunson, who is 0-2 in his last 2 fights. Derek Brunson is a fill-in for Carlos Villaloma, who was 2-3 in his last fights. So it seems like Chris Leben's got kind of 2 easy fights.
Yeah, so translation is, we want you to win, Chris Leben. Can you knock someone out?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's a return from a drug suspension. He's on the main card, the pay-per-view card.
Yeah. I think what they're trying to do here, since he is in the main card, they're hoping he gets a big knockout, and for anyone can say, see why I brought him back?
We give second chances because it's such a great
Even
story.
Even though he's going to fight someone that's 0-2.
Yeah,
last 2 fights he lost.
Look at this guy. Feel good story for the holidays, everybody. Chris Leben back. Fought his personal demons. He's successful in the octagon once again, but I don't think he should be on the main card, but I don't make the fight.
Yeah,
so
him and the Duff Man should have switched.
Well, that's a good card. Or how about Leonard Garcia? When does he never deliver a fight?
That's true, but you don't want to see it. You kind of have to win to be a little bit more notches up. No,
I mean, like Leonard Garcia's he's a good warm-up fighter, isn't he? Like, kind of just goes out there, throws the game plan out the window.
He's the Forrest Griffin of the lightweight division.
All right, next we have Alan Belcher against Yushin Okami.
That should be an interesting fight. Alan Belcher's coming off a win. Okami's coming off of a win. But Yushin Okami trains with Chael Sonnen, so he's a big guy, and his wrestling is getting a lot better. So
you don't think Alan Belcher's stam's gonna?
No, I think Yoshin's too big. His wrestling's too good now. But it should be an interesting fight. It's two guys that need this win very badly to move up one little notch in that middleweight division.
If it were for Yushin Okami, if he does win, he'd go maybe a half a notch. Because he had his title shot, and it was very impressive.
Well,
and then,
if Allen wins, do you think he even goes up half a notch?
He goes up a notch, as opposed to half a notch. And even Alan Belcher was out for almost a year with that eye injury, very severe eye injury. And
he is coming off of a big win against Pajares.
Yeah, and he's keeping himself in the news a lot lately, using his Facebook and Twitter, calling out fighters and stuff like that. So he's kind of more relevant, I think, than Yushin Okami is. But it's almost a fight to stay in the middle of the pack of the middleweight division, which is almost kind of a weak division right now.
Yeah, and next we got Costa versus Tim Boetsch.
And this is another middleweight fight. And Tim Boetsch was actually supposed to fight Chris Weidman, who in the past several months was talking himself into a title shot, right?
Campaigning for a title shot.
Campaigning, yeah.
Didn't get the campaign, and actually ended up being worse for him because he got injured. And who knows how long he's going to be out for. Yeah. So Costa came in. Costa ain't no joke.
You got to respect almost any guy who, on short notice, takes a fight with the big Tim Boetsch. I mean, he's a big middleweight, came down from light heavyweight.
But see, that's where his wins have been coming from because he's so big because he's coming from that 205. He was a big 205.
Heavy-handed, yeah.
So he's been pretty much pushing everybody around. I wouldn't say he's been dominating or showing his MMA strength.
But I think right now at the moment he's ahead of Okami and Belcher, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, especially since he does have a win over Yushin, a big win over Yushin.
Yeah, so he's kind of like that maybe top-tier middleweight. Not exactly, I hate to say it, in the class of a Michael Bisping, but like he's like right underneath that. You think?
I would say a little bit above that.
Yeah, I mean, but whatever. Michael Bisping sucks.
And then we also got Joe Lauzon versus Jim Miller. Both guys are submission specialists. Joe Lauzon's coming off a win against Jeremy Vonner, who is on the card, and Jim Miller's coming off a loss against Diaz.
Yeah, and this is another fight. Like looking at all this card, it's kind of like a battle of guys to stay relevant in each division, right? I mean, Jim Miller and Joe Lauzon both have a history of fighting the top-tier guys in lightweight, but both of them and losing, yeah. So it's kind of like this win is almost to stay relevant enough not to be a top tier, but kind of stay in the middle of the pack and not go down to that bottom 10, actually. So
yeah, you want to end up in the Facebook fights. That's what this fight is.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then main event, we got JDS versus Cain Velasquez.
2.
Yep.
Rematch.
Part 2.
The top 2 heavyweights in the world.
Fight. How do you see Junior Santos winning this fight?
I think he should not change anything he's been doing his whole UFC career, which is looking for the knockout and using his boxing and his very good stand-up to neutralize any strengths any fighter has against him. Whatever strength they have completely goes out the window once they get hit by him once. I mean, you saw Frank Mir, Roy Nelson, which is a punching bag, and Cain Velasquez, the first fight, all it took was one punch.
Yeah, but we also haven't seen JDS on his back. And Cain Velasquez looks like he's going to be healthy this time around and can put him on his back, and maybe that's the plan for success to beat JDS.
Well, JDS does have a background with the Nogueira brothers, and they have some pretty mean jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but when was the last time he submitted somebody for a win?
He hasn't had to. He's been knocking people out.
That's true. Well, stay tuned. You got our staff picks next, so we'll see you in a bit.
All right, everybody. If you like what you hear out there and want to hear more of it, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA, and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. FiveRoundMMA is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net. Get all your prep school sports information at SportsSceneTV.net. FiveRoundMMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com.
Welcome back to 5-Round MMA. It's time for our staff picks of UFC 155.
All right, before we take the staff's picks, our good friend Jason Hendricks took time out to email us his picks for UFC 155. Albert, what did you put down?
Here's his ridiculous picks. He got Chris Leben over Derek in the first round by TKO.
Oh, very specific, isn't he?
A little bit too specific, if you ask me.
Did he put down what color trunks Leben's going to be wearing, too, or what?
I think he put Yushin Okami's going to come in pink.
Did he put what color Leben's hair is going to be, too, during the fight?
Doesn't say? Nope. He didn't put that one down. Okay, and then you got Alan Belcher over Yushin Okami in the second round. Submission, guillotine choke. Tim Boetsch over Philippou, split decision. I kind of agree with that one.
Yeah.
Joe Lauzon, I sometimes show up, Lauzon over Jim Miller, split decision. And then he has JDS over Cain, first round TKO. and he put in quotation marks, except this time it's going to be even more brutal. Brutal.
Very, very confident and specific picks by Jason Hendricks, everybody.
Yeah. Now let's get to the good picks here.
All right, you want to go first?
I'll take a crack at it first. I'm going to put Derek over Chris Leben because I want Dana White to have egg on his face and show that Chris Leben should go back to Strike Force.
There's no Strike Force anymore.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much get fired. So I got Derek winning that fight. I got Yushin Okami beating Alan Belcher. I got Tim Boetsch beating Costa. And I got Jim Miller beating Joe Lauzon. And, of course, I have Cain Velasquez for Juno Santos. But wait, just before we get to Alex, we got another fight in the Facebook that I got to mention. That's Todd Duffy.
What's Todd Duffy going to do this one?
Todd Duffy's going to win. That's what he's going to do. And he's going to beat Philip Dip Fries in the Facebook fight. Don't miss it. I think it starts like at 5:30. Facebook fights. Don't miss it.
It's for free. You're going to be on Facebook anyways, people. Might as well check out the fights.
Okay, what do you got, Alex?
I actually have Derek Brunson as well. I think being an active fighter to an inactive fighter is going to hinder Chris Leben, who's gone through suspension. I have Alan Belcher against Yushin Okami. I think his stance is going to be a little bit more cleaner. And
it's the first one we disagree.
Yeah, it's going to withstand Okami's takedown attempts. And I have Tim Boetsch winning against Costa. I just think Tim Boetsch is too powerful. And I got Jim Miller by decision against Joe Lauzon because his fight's going to go to decision anyways. And I got Cain Velasquez winning against JDS. I think he's going to come in healthier, more hungrier, and I think his wrestling is going to be the key difference between the two. And our producer Guillermo has picks too as well. Guillermo, what do you got?
I got Chris Leben over Derek Brunson in the first round TKO. I got Yushin Okami unanimous decision over Alan Belcher. And then I got Tim Boetsch knockout second round.
Oh, wow.
Specific.
Then I have Jim Miller winning in submission in the second round. And then, of course, I'm a Cain Velasquez diehard fan. I got Cain Velasquez TKO in the first round.
Ooh, complete contradiction to what Jason has to say.
I can't believe no one mentioned Todd Duffy. That was
I thought it was only one Todd Duffy mentioned per person. Sorry.
You can never mention too much of the Duff man.
All right, well, those are our picks for UFC 155. Make sure to check back next week. We'll have a full reaction and review of the entire pay-per-view. I want to thank everybody for listening. Albert, you got any final shout-outs?
Yeah, I just want to thank our producer, Guillermo Cita, our executive producer, Anthony Sariana, and, of course, our sound engineer. They call him Ollie the Trolley.
All right, thank you, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We'll see you guys next week.
Let's see.